Hey guys, welcome back. Now, wouldn't it be useful if we knew 100% where crypto prices were going to be by the end of this year? Knowing where prices are going ahead of time is the holy grail of investing. Well, to the best of my knowledge, there still isn't anyone who knows the future. So all we can do is look at different prediction pricing models and see what they are saying. And today we're going to be going back over the stock to flow model, made famous by anonymous crypto analyst PlanB. PlanB became a big name in the last bull market, and he now has almost 2 million followers on Twitter. And so we'll be covering what does stock to flow say about where prices are going to be by the end of this year, where does PlanB think we are in this market cycle, and then we'll finish up with PlanB showing an investment strategy which is incredibly simple and it's beaten the buy and hold strategy. Okay, so first up, let's do a quick refresher on the stock to flow model and see where prices are going next. Okay, so this is the stock to flow model, and it's been a while since we looked at this, so let's just do a quick refresher. Now, stock to flow measures the stock, which is the available Bitcoin available to buy at any moment, and it divides it by the flow, which is how many new Bitcoins are coming onto the market. And one of the central themes of these are the Bitcoin halving events. So let's just drop these in right now. And this currently happens about every 4 years. And the next halving event is due around April time next year. And it's color coordinated, and basically once you get to the blue, that's when you get the halving event, and this is how many days until the next halving event. It goes through the same color pattern. And one of the major things that happens at these halving events is that the reward that you get for mining Bitcoin gets halved. So the last one got halved, and right now you get around 6 Bitcoin, and this is going to be halved to 3 Bitcoin. So this reduces the supply coming onto the market, and with supply and demand, if you remove supply, then prices have to increase. So that's the basics of the stock to flow model. Now let's pick this back up at the end of the last bull market. So there's lots of people that said that because stock to flow predicted that this is going to be getting to 100,000, everybody thought this was going to 100,000, and it broke down before. So lots of people were saying that stock to flow is dead. Now, for me, as it stands today, I wouldn't completely write off stock to flow just yet, as this orange line going through the middle, this is an average. So the actual price for this to be the average, it has to go above the average, and it also has to come below. So this line is not saying exactly where prices are going to be, it's just an average. So as long as we spend time above this line as well as below, then I would say stock to flow is still alive. Now, in previous cycles, it did break well above the line before coming below, well above the line before below. This time, it broke above the line, but it didn't get this key 100,000, and it did break below. And we've had this brutal crypto winter. And so this brings us nicely onto, okay, so where are prices going next? Where is it going to be at the end of this year, 2024? Well, as you can see, the next 2 years from 2024 to 2025, the average is going up to here. And this gains in 10 times increments. So this is 100,000 and this is $1 million Bitcoin. So it's saying by the end of 2025, the average is going to be 500 $100,000 Bitcoin, which is huge. So for me, for stock to flow to be alive, it has to come above this line at some point in the next 1 to 2 years. Now, PlanB has recently said that by the time of the halving, he expects Bitcoin to be above 30,000. And we're currently about at 30,000, so it's saying where we're at today. And for me, what PlanB is saying and what stock to flow is saying is actually two different things. I think 30K is way too conservative. For us to hit these massive numbers, Bitcoin has to be making some very big moves. And I would say it needs to be at least getting back to all-time highs, if not breaking above this 100,000 mark. So by the end of 2024, the average is $120,000 Bitcoin. So for me, it's got to be making some serious gains. 30K is not going to cut it. So I would say, just to sum up, by the end of this year, 2024, I think it needs to be at least back to its all-time high, if not really pushing onto this $100,000 Bitcoin. And from there, it's then got a chance to go to 200,000, 300,000, 400,000, 500,000 over the next 1 year. And I don't think going from 30,000 to 500,000 in a space of 6 months is feasible. But like all charts, a lot of this is subjective, so that's how I read this chart. And just think about if you would interpret this any differently.
This is a chart that's not a prediction, it's a detection. So it cannot tell you how long this stage will last, or it can only tell you what stage we are in right now. And currently we are still in an early bull market, the blue, stage 1. Early bull market, and we're there since January, so 6 months already. And we don't know when the green starts, but usually it's right after the halving. So here we had the 2020 halving, and after that the late bull market started, the real jump up. Same here, 2016 July was the halving, and then a few months after that the green. Same here, November 2012 was the halving, and then the green started right after it. This market stage model gave me the courage in January 12th to make my market prediction. And if you don't know what it was that the November 15K was the bottom. And I knew because the bull market already started, right?
And to finish up, this was a very interesting investment strategy recently posted by PlanB. And essentially it's this: if you were to buy Bitcoin 6 months before the halving and then sell it 18 months afterwards, historically this has beaten the buy and hold strategy. And as mentioned, next halving is around April, so this would mean buying 6 months before would be about November time this year, and from the halving you've got about a year and a half before you're very close to the market top. And this is almost as easy as just buying and holding. You're just buying once 6 months before, and then you don't have to do anything for a year and a half but sell. And this way, instead of just holding on, you actually get to reap the vast majority of the gains. Now, I've personally gone through 2 crypto winters now, and to be honest, they really are not nice. And so I'll certainly be looking to sell the majority of my crypto holdings in the next bull market. So I'll personally be keeping an eye on this. So one to keep an eye on. The holy grail of holy grails is knowing where prices will be going ahead of time. But unfortunately, as no one knows the future, we have to rely on pricing models. Today was all about PlanB's stock to flow model, and from what I can see, what PlanB is saying and what stock to flow is saying are starting to diverge. PlanB has recently said that he thinks by the time of the halving next year, Bitcoin will be above $30,000. But for me, what stock to flow is saying is that it needs to be significantly higher. For us to be reaching the prices of 200, 500, even $1 million Bitcoin, it's going to have to be a lot higher than it is today. For me, for stock to flow to still stand up, then in the next 6 to 12 months, it needs to be back above its all-time high. And according to PlanB, once you crunch the numbers, one of the most simple and most effective investment strategies would be to buy Bitcoin 6 months before the halving and then sell it 18 months afterwards. And 6 months before the next halving would be November this year. So a date to keep an eye on. So there you are, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Now let me know your questions and comments below. But just remember, we're now trying out the new SuperThanks button below in order to get rid of 100% of the comment spam and trading bots. And to make sure to get your question or comment read and replied to, or simply just to say thanks, simply use the SuperThanks button below. And for now, just to say, if you did enjoy anything in the video, then drop a like, and a big thank you to everyone who does, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.